Good morning and welcome. Well, today something completely different. I've come for a day out with my old off-road club that I was a member of, and I've brought you along to a cane trial. Well, for those of you who don't know, obviously I'm going to have to explain that, but I'll give you a quick look at the sort of vehicles that are competing. Right, I'm not going to go into too much, but highly modified Suzuki. We've got a splattering of Defenders and things here. Not many people competing today. It's the first one of the season. This often happens. But let me show you what they're expected to do. Right, I hope you can hear me with this wind noise. Sorry. Well, canes, hence cane trial. It's like a series of gates to drive through. One white, one red. Generally speaking, the red one has to be on your right hand side. I don't know who set the course up, so they may have changed that, but that's how I remember it. Let me show you. Well, I've just come to a sort of random part of the course. I haven't seen the numbers or whatever, but basically this gate, it's nice and wide. You'll get through it, no problem. The trouble is, you're going to have to cross this muddy ditch to get up and go through the next gate, which is a bit narrow. The white cane, I don't know if you can see it there, it's fell over, so I'm going to stand that back up. If the red is on the right, which I believe is the way to doing it, it looks like the course goes up, then up over that rocky section, then round in a loop at the top and back down this side. Looks like crossing here again and probably up through there to finish. We'll see. Now the basic rules are, I won't go into all of them, but the basic rules are you go one at a time, you leave the start line, you go through the gates, they are numbered 1 to 10, you get a point for each gate that you successfully go through without hitting or knocking the cane over. But the gates get progressively more difficult, depending on how the course has been set out, of course. Most people will make gate 4 or 5, regardless of the vehicle. You get to 7, 8, it's getting pretty tricky. 9 is a challenge, obviously, and number 10 is quite often bloody near impossible. Depends on the vehicle. On the vehicle front, there's 2 classes, a standard class and a pro class. Without going into all the rules and regulations, basically the standard class is a road-going vehicle. You're allowed some modifications on it, but it's more or less a road-going vehicle. The pro class, well, the rulebook goes out the window. You can do what the hell you like. You can fit monster truck tyres, you can have 3 winches, you can do anything you like in pro class. So some of the pro trucks are interesting. Sadly, I think there's only one here today, but I will get some footage of them. So yeah, that's the basics. 10 gates, one at a time. How many gates can you get through without hitting something? Once you've started, you're not allowed to stop. There's no pausing for thought. There's no having a shunt to line yourself up. So some of them are deliberately done very, very tight. So yeah, you have to keep going. If you stop at any point, even if you're not stuck, if you stop or can't make a tight turn or something, that's where your run finishes, and they will give you the amount of gates that you've cleared to that point. So I hope that sort of explains it enough. Let's wait for the action to start. Right, first guy just leaving the start line. Through gate 1, no problem. They will get progressively more difficult. He's having to have a shunt there, but he's driving long wheelbase 110. They normally allow them 1 shunt because they're just a big vehicle. Yeah, he's through there, through that section. He's done about half the gates now. He's got to go down off like a small cliff over there, down onto the lower ground, and then back up. I will move in a minute and do some filming from the bottom there for the next vehicle, which is a little Suzuki. and as some of you know, they are quite dear to my heart. So it'd be nice to see that, how that gets on. That's him done. That's as far as he's got. So whatever sort of gate he finished on is the amount of points he will get. Right, let's get down the bottom. As you can see, there's a nasty little drop there over a bit of exposed sandstone. Let's hope the little Suzuki gets this far. Now I've set myself up here to film. That's saying he's going to get through the 6 gates before it, of course. I would hope he will. I can hear him. That's going to be quite a steep drop for a short wheelbase. From the driver's seat, it's going to feel like you're standing on your nose. Oh yeah, no problem at all. The tricky bit is the climb back out, of course, when there's no grip. Yep, he's done. Roughly the same position as Stod was with 110. So as long as he didn't belt any canes on the way through, he'd be on the same points. This is the section that's defeating everyone at the moment. It's the bit they're expected to climb. You've got exposed sandstone there. They have got options. There's 2 more gaps there. Middle one's sort of sandstone and mud. The far one is mud and roots and stuff, which are equally as bloody difficult. The final gate is up the top there, so it doesn't matter which track they take to get up this bit. I'll find somewhere safe and see what we can film. Right, next up we've got my mate Pete coming round in his fairly standard Land Rover Defender 90. Not many mods on this. Small lift and a snorkel, but it's pretty standard. We'll see which line he chooses and how he gets on. Nope. Stopped him dead like throwing out a boat anchor. Right, next up we've got one of the Pro trucks. The difference will be quite obvious when you see it. Although doing a trial like this, they're not always an advantage, because sometimes they're just too bloody big. But he will climb this if anyone will. Well, that's what a lot of horsepower and some decent diff locks will do for you. Right, before each run, the competitors walk the course with the guy that set it out, so it's nice and clear where you're going. And looking by the way they're walking, they're actually using the colours the opposite way round to what I said earlier. Red on the left. Unless he's walking around the course backwards, of course.
Where's gate 9?
Ignore the numbers, this pack was... Yeah, we haven't quite got enough, so...
Well, hang on, why do we take the numbers off the other section?
All the same, this is going to be the interesting bit, I think.
That section to another one.
Because when they start this section...
Don't worry.
Now, I don't think Matt has got hope in hell here. Bloody hell. Well impressed. Mind you, he was the first person through there, so it's going to get progressively worse. Right, looking at this pit, it's not bad at all actually. Now he's been through, it looked really stodgy and sticky, but he's hardly churned it up at all. It's obviously quite hard packed underneath. So yeah, surprised he got through there. but that's a good omen for the others maybe. Now Pete's up next driving Digby. He's normally quite good at this sort of thing as long as he can get the traction. It is fairly, you know, a standard as far as the vehicles go, although it's got an interesting conversion. Underneath it's a Discovery, so he's got the TDI engine, but it's also got an auto box, so it's an automatic Defender, which is quite a rare beastie. But no, he's cocked up at the top. He went too wide and couldn't get through the gate, so we're not going to see him do the sticky bit. Right, Stod in the big 110. It's a bit of a big beast for doing this, really. He will be allowed to have a shunt somewhere. It's where he chooses to use it.
He thought about it, he can do it.
He's going up there, he's going... You can go off course, as long as you don't cross your tracks. He's taking a big loop there, so hopefully get a better line on the next gate. I think he might do quite well across this muddy ditch as well. Being long wheelbase, if you hit it hard, you get your front wheels up out of it before the back wheels have dropped in it, if that makes sense. Where the short vehicles, you're either all in or all out. See how he does this. Now, walked it. Just the last gate. He's taking his shunt there. He's allowed one, being a long wheelbase. Short ones aren't. That's a very greasy, rocky sort of climb. And he's up. Good man. It's a big old beast of a vehicle, but Stod is a good driver. Now this one might be exciting. Probably doesn't show on camera too well, but it's really steep. Drops down in, lots of off camber, lots of ruts, lots of mud. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a fun one. It's only a little short bit, this is. I might even see if I can catch a ride with someone to get some in-car footage. It'll be very shaky and very bouncy, but we'll see. Right, well, I've catched a ride along with Matt, which brings back memories, because going back probably 10 years plus, Matt and I actually competed together, and I was his co-driver in one of his vehicles. But we'll see how this goes. So I'm sorry about it's going to be very wobbly, shaky footage. Christ, there's a big drop there on the left. Nice, well done. Round to the right there. And it hit us. Oh! Grounded out on a big tree root. Bugger. Right, we've just been...
Mate, I don't want to hit ya.
We've just been dragged off that tree root by the pro truck. So at least he can get out of the section.
Cheers.
You going to try the last bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, bloody hell. That step is just a little bit too much for little tyres, isn't it?
Too much.
Well, that was a bugger because we were doing quite well, but it was just this little sort of sharp point here or maybe that runner to the cross member went over a tree root and it just stopped it dead like an anchor. That's one of the downsides with the little Suzukis. You can only go so mad with the tyres. It basically just needs more height, but it did all right and it was fun. And that was all it was that stopped us, that tiny little route. Sometimes it doesn't take much, and we just come down there. Makes it look easy. Now it's not part of the course, but they've challenged him to try and drive it up here. No, defeated. Bloody hell, he's got that diesel pump turned up. Yeah, I think most people are going to find that bit a bit tricky. A bit further. I think he actually got the next gate. Because the gate at the top there, officially the whole car doesn't have to go through. As long as your front axle goes through, it counts. And I think he might have just got that one. Little Suzuki, yes, I'm on the outside this time. Oh, nicely done, Matt, but just not quite the grip. Right, that's all I'm filming today, because basically I don't want to bore you. But it's just coming up for lunchtime. I'll get something to eat, and then there's the afternoon's shenanigans. Basically though, we use the same course but run it in reverse, so it will be completely different. But I hope you enjoyed that. For something a little bit different, I thought it'd be nice to come out and film it and catch up with the guys. I haven't seen them for a few years, and they only do 3, maybe 4 events like this a year. So as all the stars aligned and I was at the right place at the right time, I thought I'd come along to this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.